WrestleMania 14, though, was your first big WrestleMania match, actually competing against some guy named Dwayne. Oh, The Rock. Yeah, the Rock. Well, the Intercontinental title. And technically, if we're not going to get into schematics here, you beat The Rock. You beat The Rock that evening. Unfortunately, your temper might have gotten a little bit beyond your level of excitement, and you just wouldn't let go of the ankle lock, which suddenly causes a disqualification, which means you lose the match, even though technically it already ended, and you are not the Intercontinental Champion. Now, how do you feel about this situation? Because was there a plan for you to win the belt at this event, or was it always the plan of, hey, you're going to be in this Nation of Domination storyline for like 5 months, but you're never going to get the belt?
Yeah, I from what I can remember, I don't remember ever being in a position where I didn't think I was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for sure that I was going to have those opportunities. So I mean, just the way that I thought that the way they created that with me and The Rock and the rivalry that we had was tremendous. Obviously, there were some things in there that I did that probably would have given me a better opportunity to keep the belt. But there's always a little truth to every story, and we're going to have to leave it just there. I mean, I did get mad. There's a lot of stuff I did that I wish I could take back, but unfortunately, you can't do that. You got to live with what you've done. And I got angry at times. I got frustrated at times. Me and The Rock went at one another a lot. But at the end of the day, we were friends, right? I mean, like we were still friends, but it got physical in there.
Wow. A couple of potatoes being tossed around a little bit.
We were aggressive. You'll hear him talk about it all the time. It was one of the toughest guys he ever faced because we were both trying to reach the top, and we got aggressive and we got physical. And unfortunately, like you said, my temper a lot of times gets in the way because I'm used to being able to get what I want. And it didn't happen in a lot of times. I get frustrated or angry or whatever. But to this day, me and Rock are really great friends. He really helped me through wrestling, just as I did him. I'm happy for him where he's at, and I'm happy where I'm at too because I've gotten a lot of things that are going on for me too. So I'm pretty happy with Valor and the things that we're doing there. And
Yeah.
so, but again, like getting into wrestling, when you saw me in there, man, I was trying to be Ken Shamrock, the world's most dangerous man, and nobody's going to keep me from doing that.
No. And again, I think the rivalry of from 97, like at one point at Survivor Series like 97, you eliminated everyone on the Nation of Domination. You destroyed everybody. And then the storyline building up was you taking out individual members of the Nation of Domination. A Royal Rumble, you fought each other. WrestleMania, you fought each other. Even later on in the year, you fought each other. So you and The Rock seem to always chase around each other. But then when we flash forward to WrestleMania 15, The Rock's in the main event for the world title against Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're still in the Intercontinental title run with Road Dogg, Goldust, and Val Venus. So again, you kind of brought up a little bit about frustrations a little bit. 1 year ago, IC title match. 1 year later, you are still in the Intercontinental title matches, but The Rock, who fought you a year ago, is now in the world title. So do you think that this WrestleMania 15 was kind of a breaking point for you, as in like, okay, I'm doing everything right, but why am I not going up?
Well, I don't know if I was doing everything right. I mean, like behind the scenes,
TV-wise, it looked like you were doing everything right. Yeah.
Absolutely. But I had a lot of other stuff going on too, but again, like I said, the company's got to depend on you if you're carrying the strap, right? And for me, I had a temper. I was wild, and if I go up and I get that strap, um, can I represent the company properly? Am I going to lose my temper and beat somebody up severely and put them in the hospital? That's not going to represent the company well. So like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes where, I was an aggressive guy and I was violent, and, being a wrestler, sometimes, you got to be able to control those things. And, guys like The Rock getting in the ring with me, and, even Undertaker, even Bret Hart, guys that I had gotten one shot with, those guys were, and I'm happy because an Invader were willing to go in there and go with me and take all the punishment, and take all the anger and stuff that maybe I put out there. But those guys are badasses too. So
Yeah.
we were able to go in and have some good matches, and I didn't hear anybody complaining either. And nobody. It was a couple guys, but I'm not going to mention names. But those names that I mentioned, those guys were all stars.
Oh yeah, of course. You just named Mount Rushmore for a lot of people of wrestling. So everyone you talked about that you were in the ring with was very supportive of you as well, because it never seemed like I'm
Those
just
guys are
here.
tough. They're
Oh yeah,
tough.
yeah,
They're not cupcakes. They went with me, so they're tough guys.
yeah. I can't imagine. I know Bret Hart lately. Every time he talks about Goldberg, he takes a giant dump on him, and that's fine with me because anyone who hurts Bret Hart and takes him out of the wrestling world deserves to be dunked on at any minute if he wants to. He's Bret the Hitman Hart. He's the greatest of all
Yep,
time. So
yep.
if he wants to take a shot at Goldberg, and it's actually turned into a bit of a joke anytime anyone makes like a meme or even a Valentine's Day card. It was like roses are red, violets are blue. I hate Goldberg, so do you. I was like, oh my god! I was like, Bret Hart.
That's blatant. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like. I'm unfor. I mean, I like him. I'm good friends with Goldust. I have been for a long time. But just like everybody, everybody has things that happen to them, and that's their thing, and
yeah.
so. But again, like I said, I got no issues with him. In fact, I was friends with him. In fact, no, there's only like two people that I think I rubbed shoulders with wrong, but everybody else I was good with.
So again, you keep bringing up kind of like your attitude. Maybe people considered you a little violent, but at the same time, if you're given the moniker the most dangerous man, don't they know what they're buying when they bring you in as like someone who is again UFC? This is do or die situations. You need to beat somebody up to win this or make them tap. Wrestling, predetermined endings. So obviously, I remember a story about Kurt Angle. When he came in, the first thing he said was, well, I can't lose. And Vince McMahon was like, I'm sorry, what? And he's like, yeah, I can't lose. I'm an Olympic gold medalist. I can't walk in here and lose. So same situation. Did you feel like walking in that like you were underneath this impression that like, hey, I'll lose, but like it needs to be to someone legit versus me just going out there and getting pinned?
There wasn't ever any conversation about losing. It was always a conversation about program and
Mm-hmm.
what kind of programs that you were going to be in and what those programs were going to build, those different things like that. Because I already knew going in that in order for you to be able to reach a certain status, you got to be able to give a little bit.
Yes.
And then when your time is to take, then you get your opportunity to take and you make the most of it. So I didn't go in with any delusional thoughts that I was going to go in there and that I couldn't lose. I went in there understanding that that I had to lose because otherwise, how am I ever going to have that comeback, or how am I ever going to get put over if I don't get in a position to where they want to see me win because I got screwed over somehow or another.
Right.
So, and then just to go back to your point about going in there and knowing who I was and being tough, I was very fortunate. Guys like Vader, Bret Hart, Stone Cold, and The Rock, and I could go on. There's a few others. Only, like I said, one or two guys that didn't want to wrestle with me because they didn't want to be aggressive. But
Mm.
everybody else was in there and they were ready to rock and roll with me. They didn't care. They wanted it to be aggressive. They wanted it to be physical because to them it was more about getting the match over. And if people believed it was real, like Stone Cold and Bret Hart WrestleMania 13, then they're going to get a better show, and these guys are going to feel more better about themselves. So for them to get in with me, I think that was one of those they must do that. Like they were asking to have matches with me because they wanted that physicality.
Nice. Yeah, I can't imagine being like I in my brain mentally I'm like, why if I see my name next to Ken Shamrock on the whiteboard of who you're wrestling tonight, I'm like, oh my, who's got the eraser? Can I get my name out? Because again, you were so intense in the ring, punching yourself in the face before you got in the ring and everything. And then there you are on the cover of the magazine too. Man,
Yeah,
that's a scary ass man. I don't want to mess with him. I don't want to mess with him. No,
that was
he's
intense. Yeah,
that's a close up too. It wasn't, what I mean, they could have taken a wide shot for you. They're like, let's just get right in here. But my God,